Day 3 of our show highlight reel on NCIX Tech Tips. Behind me we have an enormous floating island of curved Samsung TVs. This is kind of the year of curved TVs. A lot of the time at CES, they're showing off like a bunch of crazy space age stuff that doesn't really exist. I mean, 3D TVs only really came into the mainstream in 2012, 2013, but we've been seeing them for quite a few years. Curved TVs are a little bit different. This is the first year that we've really seen them all over the place, and this year, both Samsung and LG are going to be bringing curved TV lineups to a store near you, preferably NCIX. Next up on our highlight reel is the IOGear booth, where they've got the KeyMander, which to my understanding is a Pokemon whose special attack involves taking a sharp object out of its pocket and running it down the side of every automobile in sight. Actually, no, it has nothing to do with that. The KeyMander is a keyboard mouse emulator box that is compatible with consoles. Now, right now, they've got it working on PlayStation 4 PlayStation 3 as well as Xbox One, but Xbox 360 and PS4 are in progress, definitely coming over the next little while. Now, in terms of the I/O of the thing, it's pretty straightforward. It's got 3 USB ports on the one side. You plug in your gamepad, your keyboard, your mouse, and then on the other side, it's got mini B ports. So the idea is that you can either run it with straight wired connections for next to 0 latency, or you can even hook things up wirelessly and run it however you want. You can sit back on the couch with a Couch Master and like keyboard and mouse, and you can run wireless HDMI. In fact, that's how they have it running here with a bunch of their other gear as well. So the real question, guys, is how well does it work? And the answer is, I was surprised. It's basically an unfair advantage. I mean, all of us PC folks can pretty much agree that a keyboard and mouse is a superior method of controlling a game, but I mean, I guess some people will disagree, but, you know, I guess once the playing field has been officially leveled by this particular product, we'll know what's up. Now, you might be a little bit worried. Okay, Linus, there's firmware updates, and like, is my mouse going to work? Do I have to use an IOGear mouse? Can I use my other thing? You can use whatever mouse and keyboard you want. You can set up different key bindings via a PC. Just plug this in. You can update your firmware. You can set up key profiles. You can set up macros. You can set all that stuff up. And then once it's set up, it's as simple as plugging it in, and you're pretty much good to go. Now, we haven't seen the interface yet, but we're definitely asking these guys for a review unit at some point so we can check this out on a lower latency connection in the safety of our testing lab. But I am extremely excited because, to me, other than the fact that they all run at lower resolutions, the keyboard or the lack of a keyboard and mouse is the biggest disadvantage when it comes to console gaming. Thank you for fixing that. Behind me, we've got NVIDIA's Tom Peterson showing this bad boy off. It's their latest Franken creation from the NVIDIA labs, and I believe it's the first time a 4K monitor has been demonstrated doing a couple of things. Number one is running off of a single DisplayPort cable. There's no like fancy multi-monitor trickery going on or anything like that, because the scaler built into the G-Sync module is perfectly capable of handling that resolution off of a single connector. The second thing that they're showing off for the first time ever is a 4K monitor running G-Sync, which to me is a much more practical application than on 1080p necessarily, because no matter how much GPU horsepower you throw at it, you're not necessarily going to be able to prevent your frame rate from dipping below 60 FPS. So they're showing off Anno 2070 back there, and it is pretty impressive, but it gets even more impressive when you turn the monitor around and have a look at exactly what they did. They're using the same G-Sync PCB, they're using the same G-Sync module as they do on the other monitors that are here, except they had to get like an acrylic case and cover the back of it and Frankenstein it to the back of the monitor, and now that is how they achieved it. Now, you lose all of the other inputs that the monitor would have and all of that good stuff, but what you gain is buttery, smooth performance, even when your frame rate dips. Our final NCIX highlight of the day comes from the NVIDIA booth again, where they're showing off their Tegra K1 reference tablet. Now, NVIDIA has neither confirmed nor denied that they're going to have a Note tablet or a Shield-like device that features Tegra K1, but I think that it wouldn't be that far out there in terms of an assumption that we might be able to make. So they're showing it off running a number of demos here. First of all, they have a room demo running on Unreal Engine. Now, Tegra K1 uses the same Kepler architecture as the full-fledged GTX Titan. So it is fully capable of running DirectX 11.2 and OpenGL 4.4, and this manifests in a bunch of different in features as much as in terms of raw horsepower. So when we zoom in on the floor, for example, we can see the light scatter realistically as if off a laminate or wood floor. When we zoom in on the couch, we can see the soft shadows and the texture of the fabric and the realism of the couch itself. But neither of these demos are probably as impressive as NVIDIA's FaceWorks demo. Now, we've seen this before, but we've never seen it running on a mobile processor. And there's a bunch of advanced stuff going on here. So for one thing, the tessellation in the eye is part of what makes it look so round and so realistic. And then we've got other stuff. We've got subsurface scattering in the ear that allows us to see not just, you know, the skinny hue of a human ear, well, specifically like a white dude human ear, but also the red of the blood underneath it. Not only that, but I mean, okay, to be clear, guys, this guy will run using other standards, so not OpenGL 4.4, but just kind of look at him. Like there's lots of other stuff, like the greasiness of his face, the soft shadows of his face, but it's really most clear if you do a side-by-side demo and look at it, just running on your standard, you know, mobile API versus running on OpenGL 4.4, and I think you'll really see what I mean. Guys, thank you for checking out our highlights of CES Day 3 on NCIX Tech Tips. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this from ncix.com.